Tesla, a Serbian-American researcher known throughout the world as a genius, contributed so much to science and electricity and innovation.
Nikola Tesla published an article in 1898, and Tesla states in this article, when you're exposed to high voltage for a short period, say 15 minutes or less, you get beneficial effects. Tesla was an inspiration for rejuvenation, and this is what George Van Tassel was very attuned to. And in fact, Tesla announced that he had been receiving radio waves from extraterrestrials, specifically messages from Martians. So this is very similar to George's experiences, and both of them were interested in the effect of high voltage on humans.
Both men were derided by the scientific community for their claims of alien contact. But today, it is well known that electromagnetic waves have a number of beneficial effects on the human body, including nerve regeneration, wound healing, pain management, and even treating diabetes. And like Nikola Tesla, George Van Tassel did attract the attention of at least one government organization during his lifetime, the FBI.
The FBI's involvement with George Van Tassel, which was considerable, started in the 1950s. The feds were interested in the technology that George was working with and uncovering at the Integratron.
Declassified FBI documents confirm the Bureau did, in fact, conduct surveillance on many of Van Tassel's speeches and presentations for years.
He was definitely monitored by the FBI. They were aware of what he was doing out in the desert. If you go back into the early 50s to the early 60s, that was the high point around the world of people seeing extraterrestrial craft.
During this time of increased UFO activity in the late 1950s and early 60s, Van Tassel finally had the resources necessary to begin constructing the Integratron. It is a circular plan, two-story hemispherical umbrella dome structure, 43 feet in diameter and 33 feet tall, designed to facilitate cell rejuvenation by means of manipulation of electromagnetic waves.
Let's talk about this picture. This is a picture of the machine we're building down there. This structure is actually up. We're working now on the parts on the equipment that operate it. This rim around here has armatures 57 feet in diameter, which would be better than 4 times bigger than the biggest armatures ever made before.
The incredible thing about the construction is there are no nails. Every piece is fit together. All the wood, it's formed, it's shaped. There's a little glue, and then there's the fiberglass shell.
Construction of the building was completed in 1960. But Van Tassel would manufacture the technology to power it himself. Over the next 2 decades, he worked on the apparatus to achieve his goal of cell rejuvenation through the controlled manipulation of electromagnetic waves. Because it's all built of wood, it's unable to conduct electricity back to the earth. And so there's simply this kind of swarm of electromagnetic energy within the vessel that essentially can't get out. And so, in theory, your cells, which are also electrical impulses within them,